So, while in the midst of packing, I came across this little nugget of joy here. And for those of you that knew my late wife, Ashley, you knew she was very artsy and crafty and whatnot. So she kind of made this little scrapbook of my time in the Marines. So I thought I'd share this with you and tell you about each page. So here we go. So here we start with The Journey Begins. This was the night I left for boot camp, or just the night before I left for boot camp. My last time to see her until the end of boot camp on September, and this was September 12th, so September 13th was the day I actually went there. So here is December 8th. This is the night of what's called the DI dinner. And basically this is towards the end of boot camp after we've done most of our training, and the families that are there for graduation this is their first chance to see their Marines, recruits that were in boot camp with them. And the next day afterwards we have what's called the motivational run. And this is a gung-ho run around the base that the entire battalion does. It's a lot of fun. We call cadence. The families get to see us run calling cadence. So you can pick me out there. Try to zoom in as close as I can. Go close as I can there. That's me. Second from the left there in the middle. But this is the families have a lot of fun seeing their guys run, and goofy little smile I had there. And then it ends on the parade deck where graduation will be held the next day. So that's us on the parade deck there. And then this is the visitors' day, which is later that day after the run, where the families get to spend the entire day with their recruits and take them around base and so forth. So that's Ashley and I, very young, the both of us. And each platoon in the battalion actually makes their own sign for their platoon, kind of, and this was my platoon sign here that we made, just as a little motivational thing that we do, and we made this. So, and then we get to graduation day, December 10th. That's after the graduation, of course. Can't believe I was ever that young. A couple of newspaper articles here. I don't remember what that one is for. I'll have to get out and read it later on. But that's the program for the graduation. This is a little article about my graduation, about boot camp in general, and so forth. Here we are at combat training. That's me at our combat training. This is kind of how we stationed our gear when we were in classes and whatnot. And that's basically what we stayed in. Wooden huts and sleeping bags. That's pretty much it. And this is my platoon that I was with in combat training. That's towards the end, I believe. And this is on my way to my first and last school at the Presidio of Monterey, California. This is at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. I don't know why he's so serious. Marine Corps Ball, 2002. That was just after we got married. And then this was the day that we went to the Marine Corps. I recognize that guy, Dan. Two days before Valentine's Day. I arrived in Kuwait on Valentine's Day. and some pictures from Kuwait. I thought that was hilarious when when I saw that sign, so I had to take a picture of it. I mean, honestly, no driving on sand. Great sign to put up in the middle of the desert. This is kind of one of our more mild sandstorms that we had out in Kuwait. We had more that were a lot worse than this one. Another shot of the sandstorm here. And those are camels that roam the base, roam the base every day. That's outside the chow hall. And in one of our tents. And that's our work tent there. This is a very nice gentleman. He was one of the Kuwaiti police, actually. I was out there. I talked with him for a long time. He was a very nice guy. And then this is a British soldier that was out there with us, stationed on our base. I believe this picture was just after we pulled the engine out of a 7-ton truck, which myself and 2 other guys were the first Marines to replace the engine on the 7-ton, on the Marine Corps' brand new 7-ton in a combat environment. This was in our bunker that we had when the missiles were coming to the base. We had to run to. This was a fun time. We were destroying a broken Humvee hood, having fun doing it, and we had to chop it up anyway, so we thought we'd take some pictures and have fun with it. That's me in the bunker there with my gas mask on. This is a reserve Marine named Zach, also a good friend. These were on convoys that I went on all the time. I was the line mech on convoys. There's Dan and I again in the middle of a sandstorm. That's me standing in the compartment of the 7-ton after we pulled the engine out. And that's me standing next to the engine once we pulled it out. That's on top of the engine, on top of the cab with the engine out. On top of the engine compartment there. I don't remember where that one was. And well, that's it. A couple little awards and citations and things like that afterwards, and that's it.